Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, do you see the writing?
No. Yeah, I can see it now.
Hmm?
Yes, I see it, sir.
Okay. All right. So graph of linear equations. So you're already aware of standard format of a straight line equation, which is y equals mx plus c, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now in this standard format, m is the gradient and c is the y-intercept. Okay, c is the y-intercept. Let me just change the template to the square grid instead. Oh, that's yeah, that's better. Okay, so let me just draw a grid here. Okay, that's a Cartesian plane, x-axis and y-axis. For example, you have the equation y is equals to 2x minus 3. Now, this 3 is going to be the y-intercept. So basically, the line is definitely going to pass through this point on the y-axis. And the gradient is 2. Mathematically, I can rewrite the gradient as 2 over 1. So if you try connecting it with rise over run, so 2 units rise plus 2 units rise means you go up, and 1 unit run means plus 1, you go move towards the right. So from this point, you follow through this gradient. So 2 units of rise have gone up from this point, and then 1 unit of run. So another point is going to be here. So the line will also pass through this point. Now you can easily draw the line from these points. This is what you will have. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Got it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Uh, y is equals to plus minus c. Now the difference between y equals to mx plus c. Over here, I have two variables, y and x. So whenever you have two variables, the line is either going to rise from left to right or it is going to fall from left to right, depending on the gradient. So if m is positive, the line is going to rise, and if m is negative, the line is going to fall. So this is you will have if you have this two variable equation. So in this one, y equals to plus minus c, you've got just one variable. So whenever you have this, you will always have a horizontal line, and c is going to be the point on the y-axis from where the line is going to cut through. So for example, you have an equation y equals to 2. So the line of y equals to 2 is going to be this one. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And exactly the same way, if the third format is x equals plus minus k. Again, it's one variable, but this time it's just x. So whenever you have this, you will always have a vertical line like this, parallel to the y-axis. So x equals plus minus k. K is going to be the point from where the line is going to cut through the x-axis. So for example, you have an equation x equals -1, so you will have a line parallel to y-axis passing through -1 on the x-axis. So the equation is x equals -1. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now moving on to the coordinate geometry. if you have 2 points as x1, y1, and another point B as x2, y2, if you want to find out the gradient of the line connecting A and B, then this is how you will be doing y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Then if you want to find out this the distance between A and B, so the length of the line connecting A and B, you'll be using this formula, the distance formula, which is y2 minus y1 whole square plus x2 minus x1 and then the whole square. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And if you want to find out the coordinates of point M, which is exactly halfway between A and B, then it is going to be you add the x coordinates of both and then divide them with 2, and then you add the y coordinates of both and then you divide them with 2. So adding x coordinates of both and dividing them with 2 will give you the x coordinates of the midpoint, and adding y coordinates of both and dividing them with the 2 will give you the y coordinate of the midpoint. Whenever you have parallel lines, their gradient is always same. So for two parallel lines, L1 and L2, you can say that M1 would be equal to M2. For example, this is the line, and if you have a line, another line which is exactly parallel to this one, then for example, the gradient for the first one is, let's just say 3, then it's understood that the gradient for another one is going to be 3 as well. So mathematically, if I move this m2 on the left hand side, I can rewrite the same equation as m1 minus m2 equals 0. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And then perpendicular lines, if I have this line, let's just say, and it has a gradient of, let's just say, -2/3, and I have another line which is exactly perpendicular to this one, then the gradient for this one is going to be +3/2, means it is going to be the negative reciprocal of each other. So basically you flip the fraction and change the signs. Okay,
Yes.
just give me a minute, let me just check on the door.
Yes.
Okay, so this was a relation of gradient of perpendicular lines. All right, now moving on to the. Okay, so mathematically, if I try writing down the relation, the equation of the for the relation explaining the relation of the gradients, then that one is it is I can write them down as m1 equals -1 over m2, or if I bring this m2 on this side, it will be multiplied here. You can rewrite it down as m1 times m2 equals -1. Okay,
Yes, sir.
got it?
Yes.
So these are all the things you have studied in your O levels. Now moving on towards, it's exactly same. Just there's nothing new. So it's all about. It's just adding a bit of extra length to all the concepts. Now the first thing is You have studied a standard form as y equals mx plus c, which is definitely, if I quote an example on this format, so let's just use the same example as I have used before. So the same equation, in this A levels, you'll be introduced with another format, which is, I'm sorry, ax plus by plus c equals to 0. So if I try writing down the very same equation on this format, I can rewrite it down as minus 2x plus y plus 3 equals to 0. So what I've done is I've moved all of these things to the left. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Or you can just change the signs as 2x minus y minus 3 equals to 0. Okay, now you must be thinking that this format is very helpful because you can easily get the information about the gradient and the y-intercept from the equation itself. So you can see here 2 is the gradient and negative 3 is the y-intercept. But you can also get the same type of information from this format as well. So if you want to know about the gradient, it is going to be, if you have this particular format, this one, and if you want to know about the gradient, then it is going to be minus a over b. So a is basically the coefficient of x, b is the coefficient of y. This is going to give you m. So you must be thinking that uh, this format is still easy. All you have to do is just look here and stuff. By the practice, if you have enough practice, you should be able to do the same if you have equation in these formats. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so okay, this was the gradient, and then moving on to the y-intercept. You can get the value of y-intercept from this format as well, which is going to be minus c over b. Don't confuse this c with this c. Clearly, they are different. Okay, they are going to be different in both of these. This is the y-intercept. This c is used for y-intercept. In this format, you cannot say that this is the y-intercept. Let me just put it there. Not y-intercept. So that is why if you want to find out the y-intercept, it is going to be negative of this over the coefficient of b. All right.
Yes, sir.
So for example, if you have an equation 2x plus 5y minus 3 equals 0, so that's in the format of ax plus by plus c equals 0. If you want to know the gradient, as I told you earlier, it is going to be minus a over b, so it is going to be minus 2 by 5. So minus 2 over 5, so minus a over b. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And if you want to know the y-intercept, that is going to be minus c over b, so that's going to be minus negative of this one, so that would be plus 3 minus minus plus over b, which is 5. So that's the y-intercept. And you can just verify this if you apply algebraic manipulation and bring this into the standard form and make y the subject of the equation. So that's going to be 5y equals negative 2x plus 3, and y would be equals to negative 2 by 5x plus 3 by 5. You can clearly see that value of m is minus 2 by 5, and the value of y-intercept is 3 by 5. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in your O levels, you studied 3 cases of creating an equation if you are provided with few data. But before jumping to that, let me just try explaining one thing. So for example, this is a line and I say that y equals to 2x minus 3. This is the equation for this line. So anywhere on this point, anywhere along on this point, let's just say you have this point and whose x coordinate is, let's just say, minus 15, but you don't know the y coordinate of it. If you want to know, then how are you going to do it? So it works for the curves as well. but I'm explaining this on straight line. So anywhere on the straight line, if you know that there's a point on that line, and if you know one of the coordinate of it, you can easily find out the other one by putting that point into that its own equation. So you want to know y, so y will stay as it is, equals to x is negative 15 and minus 3. So y is equals to negative 30 minus 3. So y is going to be equals to negative 33. So y coordinate of this is going to be negative 33. Got it?
Yes, sir.
And exactly in the same way, if you have another point over here, uh, you don't know the x coordinate of it, but you know the y coordinate, and let's just say it is plus 1. And you want to know what is the x coordinate of that. Then again, you can easily find that out by putting this point into its own equation. Why? Because I know that this point is on this line. So all you have to do is put this point into this equation and you will have the x coordinate. So let's just do it. So the y coordinate is 1. So in place of y, I'm going to put 1 here, equals 2, x comes in as it is, and minus 3. So 1 plus 4 equals 2x, 5 equals 2x, and x would be equals to 5 over 2, which is 2.5. So x coordinate for this one is going to be 2.5. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes.
Okay, and the next thing is, if I tell you that, okay, now moving on to the cases which you studied in your O levels about creating the equation. Now there were 3 cases. One was the point and then slope form. Point slope form was basically you're provided with a point, that line is passing through this point, and it has a gradient of 5, for example. If you want to find out its equation, all you were supposed to do is use the standard format. So for every time, whenever you want to create an equation, your main target is to find out the values of m and c. Once you have those, then you can easily find out the equation. Now you can clearly see that the value of m, one of these two components is already provided to you by the examiner, m. So I'm going to create whatever equation I can make from the available data. So that's y equals to 5x plus c. Now you can clearly see that this component is unknown here. We need to find out c as well. I know that the point is passing through this point, so I'm going to plug in this point into this equation. And once I do that, I'll be plugging in y, x, and I'll be just left with one unknown, c, and I can easily compute that from there. So y is 3, x is 2, and that's going to be 10, and c would be equal to 3 minus 10, and that's negative 7. So once you have the value of c, you can write down the complete equation, which is 5x minus 7. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the next case was 2 points form. 2-point form is you're provided with the 2 points, that line is passing through these 2 points, find out its equation. Now again, standard form is mx plus c. You should be hunting for these 2 values. Now none of these 2 are provided in the given data, but if you look carefully, you can find out the value of m by using these 2. So m would be equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that would leave you with minus 12 over 3, which is negative 4. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So now you have the value of m. You can create the equation to this length, that y equals to negative 4x plus c. Now once you have this, Only C is unknown. Now, in order to find out C, now you know both of these points are on the line of whose equation we are trying to find out. So now you have a buffer. You can put either of these 2 points into this. Now, whatever you are comfortable with, let's just say go for A. So if I put point A into this equation, y is 3, x is 2, and from here you can compute the value of C, and that would give you 11. So the required equation is negative 4x plus 11. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Third case was y-intercept form. It's just like the first case, that in the first case, out of these two components, one of the component was given already. Over here, instead of m, you will be provided with the value of c. So y-intercept form is going to be, for example, examiner tells you that a line passes through 2 and 3, and the y-intercept is -5. Find the value of find the equation of the line. So out of the two components, you already have one of them, which is c. So I'm going to write as much equation as I can write. So y equals mx minus 5. So I've placed -5 in place of c. Now I need to find m. Again, I'll be using this point and plugging it into this equation in order to find out the value of m. So y is 3, x is 2, and from here you can easily find out the value of m. So 3 plus 5 is going to be close to 2m, 8 equals 2m, and m would be equals to 4. From here you can write down the required equation, 4x is 5. Got it? So these are all the
Yes,
cases
sir.
which you have already studied in your O levels. Okay, now and here comes the fourth for A levels one, which is a new thing in A levels. If you're provided with a gradient and a point, so let's just say a point is x1, y1, then you can find out the equation of the line by using this format: y minus y1 equals to m into x minus x1. Okay, so let's just take an example. For example, you have a point A, 2, 3. So it's the same as the case 1, point and the slope. This is same point and the slope, point slope form. So I'm going to use the very same example. M is 5, A is 2, 3. So we will be using this format. So y minus y1 is the y coordinate of the given point. So y minus 3 equals m is 5, x minus x1. x1 is the x coordinate of the given point. So x minus 2. Now all you have to do is simplify it. 5x minus 10 plus 3, and that would leave you with minus 7. And we got exactly the same equation. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So the only two new things about A levels is this: y minus y1 equals to m into x minus x1, this one, and this format, which is ax plus by plus c equals to 0. And you can also find m and the y-intercept from this format as well. Okay, now all you have to remember is that c in this format is not the y-intercept. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Manisa?
Yes, sir. I got it.
That's all about it. Any questions?
No, sir. No questions. Sir, can you hear me?
So this Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know. I guess